Great EDC gear is rarely cheap, and cheap EDC gear is rarely great. Since excellent EDC gear should be able to withstand a lifetime of use, these items need to be incredibly tough and hard-wearing. Traits that often come at a steep price while balancing an engaging design you'd be content with seeing every day. If you know where to look, there does exist a small handful of exceptional everyday carry pocket knives that offer excellent durability and utility and squeeze in the most bang for your buck. To guide your search, we've taken care of the price by capping our list to feature EDC pocket knives at or less than $100, so we can instead focus on pieces that score high for utility, construction, and even appearance. So let's go ahead and unpack our favorite picks for the best EDC pocket knives under $100. As a quick note before we begin, our guide is sorted by price point, so as this list progresses, so too will the knife's price tag. The Ruike P108 is unquestionably one of the best budget picks well under $100, and that's backed up by a general consensus across industry experts who praise the Civivi 14C28N stainless steel blade, frame lock construction, and secondary backup block as features that could value this knife at more than double or triple its current $40 price tag. It's also damn good looking, with stealthy geometric contours and a full satin stainless steel finish. Yes, the P108 is the heaviest on our list by about 1.5 ounces due to its near full stainless steel construction, but you can't realistically expect lighter metal scales like titanium at this price point. Let's start with the blade. For 2 Jacksons and some change, the Ruike P108 boasts a high-performing 3.5-inch Civivi 14C28N stainless steel blade with a spear point style and a decent thickness of about 0.12 inches. This high carbon steel could be best classified as an upper mid-level pick that allows easier sharpening than some more premium stainless steels like S30V, but scores a bit lower for edge retention and overall corrosion resistance comparatively. Being easy to resharpen makes it a solid mid-level choice for a low-maintenance EDC unit that could see a lot of daily use, as well as a great pick for anyone learning to sharpen and care for an everyday carry blade. For general context, its toughness sits between 440C and H1, with a hardness of about 58 to 60 HRC. The P108 clocks in at 8 inches in length with its blade deployed, the handle comprising about 4.5 inches, making it the longest pick on our list as well as the heaviest. That being said, the svelte 0.45-inch handle thickness makes it remarkably pocketable. It's crafted from a rugged-looking stonewash Sandvik 3CR14N stainless steel and features chamfered and rounded edges for comfortable handling during use. On the busiest side of the handle, Ruike provides a smartly designed pocket clip with a high amount of flexibility and a cone-shaped end cap to keep the P108 from shifting around when pocketed. As you can tell from the integration within the handle, the Ruike P108 sports 2 locking mechanisms, a primary standard frame lock backed up by a secondary Beta Plus lock that can essentially turn this flipper into a fixed blade by sliding this handle lock. Moving on, for about $20 more than the P108, and originally debuting as a custom blade from knife maker Chris Conway before later being adopted and put into mass production by Kizer, the Mini Sheepdog is one of the best sub-$100 flippers. This variant sporting a black G10 handle with a 154cm stainless steel blade. Right out of the box, the Kizer Vanguard Mini Sheepdog is incredibly striking, with a unique cleaver-inspired sheep's foot blade that's difficult to ignore, though more on that later. First off, you'll notice Mini in the title, and at an overall length of 5.77 inches, it's certainly a pocketable EDC-oriented offering, as well as deserving of the moniker. As the name also suggests, there's a larger full-size version of the Sheepdog as well, although you do lose a bit of pocketability with an overall length pushing 8 inches, and a markedly beefier handle. Minis also offered up in a pretty extensive number of combinations, mixing handle types of micarta, G10, titanium, aluminum, and richlite with differing blade finishes and steels, and different locking mechanisms and deployants like flipper tabs, thumb holes, and button locks for a verifiable laundry list of configurations. And that's before you start looking at some of the many aftermarket components for the Sheepdog. Like we said, the sheep's foot cleaver-esque style blade is striking in a knife of this size, but it's far more than an aesthetic on the part of Conway and now Kizer. It serves up pretty insane utility for a blade with a mere 2.6-inch length. Traditionally, cleavers maintain shorter blade lengths by upping the blade thickness and vertical height, which can be used in tandem with mallets, hammers, or other tools to achieve a higher degree of force for tough applications than traditional pocket knives. So, having a blade this shape in a compact EDC form factor is really dissimilar to anything currently offered in this space and can't be understated. The same holds true here for the Mini Sheepdog, with a substantial 1.25-inch blade width and a thickness of 0.11 inches forged from rugged 154cm stainless steel. This version of the Kizer Mini Sheepdog sports a G10 handle, but as we highlighted, the Mini Sheepdog's assembled with a wide variety of handle materials. In addition to the G10, our other personal favorites, the lightweight and sleek titanium option. At 3.14 inches in length with chamfered edges, a deep finger choil, and cutouts for grip, the user experience at even this middling size feels natural and comfortable. The Sheepdog also builds in a bright blue pivot ring around the hardware, making for an eye-catching detail that provides pleasant visual contrast against the rich black of the solid G10 scales. Our G10 and 154cm model ships with a traditional liner lock. Nothing special to report on here as it works great as is. But if you're interested in something else, there's a nifty button lock option for an even easier deployment, as well as a frame-locking titanium scaled version. Our favorite's the traditional liner lock, simply because the action is buttery smooth and it really is hard to beat considering the $60 price tag. We admit that we're hopping on the bandwagon here, but how could you not include a list of great EDC pocket knives at less than $100 or even less than $50 without including the absolutely iconic Civivi Elementum? It's offered in dozens of options, we counted roughly 60, has combinations of different handle materials and solid stainless steel options like D2 steel, Sandvik 14C28N, and CPM S35VN. The construction is absolutely dialed, and while it does look great on camera, we admit, to fully appreciate the knife's craftsmanship, construction, and overall fit and finish, you really do need to get it in hand since it's tangibly surprising for a $50 price tag. We'd even go so far as to say that the Elementum is deserving of being included as part of the We Knife catalog, the more premium division that rubs shoulders with Civivi. Another major talking point about the Civivi Elementum is the choice of premium stainless steel options that are often found on knives far above our qualifying price point like 14C28N. Our version sports a 2.96-inch drawpoint blade and is forged from D2 stainless steel with an HRC of 59 to 61, has a thickness of 0.12 inches and a sharp cutting edge of about 2.6 inches. Civivi also provides some ergonomic and utilitarian features like the jimping on the blade's back surface and an even satin texture that looks extremely premium. And speaking of premium, you'll notice that the entirety of the near 3-inch blade lacks any bold branding, engraving, logos, or text, for a markedly unbroken sleek aesthetic while seamlessly hiding the small D2 detail on the flip tab. Similar to the blade's many stainless steel offerings, the handle of the Civivi Elementum also provides choices. We selected a lightweight G10 option since our guide is twofold, pocketable EDC with a price point under $100. When viewed from the side, the handle silhouette is also extremely beautiful. Instead of opting for full edge-to-edge scales with chamfered edges, Civivi sized down the scales by a few millimeters on each side to leave a pseudo-frame created by the full-length stainless steel liners. The Elementum also builds in versatility with a convenient deep carry pocket clip for everyday carry and a set of lanyard punch-outs. We feel like a broken record here by highlighting versatility alongside price point, which happened to be a true coincidence when piecing together this guide, but each element of the Elementum, pun intended, is truly customizable with variants that feature frame locks or a button lock for even easier deployment. The tried and tested liner lock version here is about as standard as they come, but it gets the job done. Not too much to report on other than the markedly smooth action, only further aided by the caged ceramic ball bearing pivot assembly. Fully designed and built right here in the USA, unlike our other 4 picks, Spyderco's operation lives and breathes in the heart of Colorado and has invested heavily in state-of-the-art machinery to keep their manufacturing domestic. If you're new to Spyderco's offerings or simply looking for what they provide under $100, look no further than the Spyderco Delica 4. Like the Kizer Mini Sheepdog, at first glance the design of the Delica sets itself apart almost immediately, from the highly textured curved handle all the way to the oversized thumbhole within the leaf-shaped blade. For about $90, the Delica 4 is hard to beat as the de facto entry-level Spyderco pick. The Delica 4 stands at an uber-pocketable 4.25 inches when folded with a 2.875-inch blade and a total length of 7.125 inches when deployed. Our Zome Green variant ships with a Japanese-sourced VG10 stainless steel blade, but offers constructions ranging from S30V to M4 to even S90V. An unintentional trend of versatility in this guide alongside the sub-$100 price point as we mentioned before. Perhaps the most striking features of the blade, however, are the unique leaf shape and the oversized thumbhole used for convenient deployment, both signature design elements within the Spyderco catalog as a whole. The second most striking feature has to be the handle design and the texture. Our version here sports the Zome Green colorway, made with an interesting construction method. When viewed closely, the fiberglass reinforced nylon handle surface, abbreviated to FRN, features what Spyderco dubs bidirectional texturing, for a slip-free user experience further aided by the extensive jimping track that extends into the top of the blade. Featuring 8 distinct FRN colorways, the Zome Green is definitely the most unique. After injection molding the base color, specialists familiar with the Japanese brush dyeing art form pattern each handle to make one-of-a-kind designs with custom dyes that permeate the entire thickness of the handle. Although slightly opaque as an end product, the handles maintain layers of visible depth to make for a really engaging piece of pocketable EDC. What's more, the Delica 4 sports not 1 or 2 sets of threads for repositioning the deep carry pocket clip, but a total of 4 for a tip-up or tip-down carry style in either pocket. While we didn't reconfigure ours and prefer its tip-up right-sided default configuration, Spyderco makes it as simple as readjusting the 3 hex screws at the top of the clip. The Delica 4 is also extremely sturdy in hand, with a full dual skeletonized stainless steel liners under the FRN handle for a solid and ergonomic shape that feels a bit more conforming than other more geometric picks. The Delica 4 also deviates from our other best EDC pocket knives under $100 selections in terms of the locking mechanism and deployment, that trades a traditional liner lock for a lockback system. It's a point of contention, but it's generally agreed upon that a lockback system provides a higher degree of security during particularly strenuous applications. Where a liner lock may slip or weaken under immense pressure, a lockback mechanism uses an entanglement system that interlocks with the blade itself to prevent slipping, and can be disengaged easily with either hand near the base of the handle. The lockback or backlock system allows the Delica to stay thinner than what would be possible with a traditional liner lock, and while there have been a few anecdotal online reports of this system causing play in the blade's horizontal or vertical axes, ours ship flawlessly, and we haven't personally heard of any first-hand issues. And more so than any other knife on this list, there's a massive variety of available aftermarket scales, backspacers, and other custom components for the 4th Gen Delica. We understand that our last EDC pocket knife pick by SOG has been floating around the market for a few years, overshadowed by newer releases like the LTE line. However, as a knife with a sub-$100 price point, a full-length S35VN blade, a handle combo crafted from carbon fiber and G10 in tandem for a palpably tactical design, and a 3-method deployment system, it becomes quite clear why the Terminus XR holds its value far past its initial release. The Terminus XR sports a full-length 3-inch blade forged from S35VN, a super steel, which scores extremely high across benchmarks like toughness, ease of sharpness, corrosion resistance, and edge retention. You'd be hard-pressed to find a large number of sub-$100 knives that offer this option, as the Terminus XR rubs shoulders with other budget-friendly heavyweights like the S35VN Civivi Elementum, the Concept Mini Corvid, with a look quite similar to our Kizer Mini Sheepdog selection, and the solid Ontario Titanium 22 Equinox that also sports a full-length 3-inch S35VN blade. And if you're a fan of a tactical aesthetic, you'll really enjoy the crisp contours of the blade and the contrast between the engraved black set typography that matches the set of black thumb studs and the bright, reflective gray stainless steel. SOG also builds in a good amount of jimping on the blade's backside to keep its utility at the forefront. As we mentioned, the handle design, although largely standard in shape, sports a highly notched carbon fiber G10 combo that largely helps the Terminus XR to stay at a featherweight 3.3 ounces in hand. The XR also features full-length stainless steel liners to back up the already hard-wearing scales. To round out its EDC qualifying handle features, SOG uses a reversible low carry clip. One of the last most notable talking points about the SOG Terminus XR, only further solidifying it as a capable EDC pocket knife under $100, is the 3-system method of deployment: thumb studs, the XR lock, and kick. We found each to be relatively smooth to engage and disengage, but the real value proposition is the convenience that this bakes in, for quick accessibility and deployment in either hand. In conclusion, if you've been searching for a dependable EDC pocket knife with a sub-$100 price tag, our guide is a really stellar but fractional cross-section of what are hundreds on the market. Many with excellent craftsmanship that would certainly have made a top 10 or top 20 list had we had the time, and many that are just laughably bad. If you'd like to extend your search past our best EDC pocket knives under $100 guide, we recommend getting familiar with these half-dozen areas we briefly mentioned in our introduction to stay well informed. Handle material. There are many. For $100 or less, the classics are stainless steel, micarta, or G10, but you'll also find some more unique options like Richlite, a paper resin composite, FRN or fiberglass reinforced nylon, lightweight carbon fiber, or even titanium if you can locate a good sale. Again, there are many, but for under $100, look for more premium stainless steels that are tried and true, like D2, Sandvik 14C28N, CPM S35VN, or 154cm. Size. Try and keep the overall knife length under 8 inches when deployed, which often translates to a full-length 3-inch blade or shorter, and a handle length anywhere between 3 to 4 inches for pocketability. There's certainly more room at the extremes, but this is a pretty standard benchmark to start. Hardware. Like a watch's buckle hardware, so too can a knife's deployment and locking mechanism quickly become tedious or even irritating with daily use if it's overly complex and difficult to engage or disengage. We'd recommend some tried and trues: frame lock and liner locks, lockbacks, or even push buttons. You won't find many others at less than $100, and each of these are easy for low-maintenance EDC. And last, but certainly not least, is value, which can be summed up in layman's terms as the net sum of all the knife's most positive and negative attributes in relation to the list price. This can take some time to learn, as you begin to familiarize yourself with the space's seemingly endless offerings, but with time, it'll become second nature.